In this video, you're going to learn 5 things that profitable traders do that perhaps you don't. A great resource we utilize at our firm is studying our best traders, those who've gone from beginner to consistently profitable trader and 7-figure traders. Starting to implement what these top traders do may just dramatically improve your trading results. Stick around, and we're going to share in this video what makes our top traders so good. Hi, I'm Mike Bellafiore, managing partner of SMB Capital, a proprietary trading firm located in Midtown Manhattan. And I'm also the author of the trading classic, One Good Trade and the Playbook. Click our subscribe button so you don't miss any of the trading videos produced for the trading community. If you want to learn 4 more real-world setups that our traders use, including the simple setup that we teach all of our new traders, and the setup to turn one of our traders into a 7-figure big money trader, check out the free webinar that we're currently running. Just go ahead and click this link to sign up for free right now. You're going to learn more in a couple of hours from this video, from this webinar workshop, than from years of online education. In this video, we're going to discuss 5 things that profitable traders do, such as adopt a growth mindset, trade the right stocks, stick with their trading niche, embrace technology to make more, review their performance with the daily report card. So the goals for this presentation are to introduce some consistently profitable traders from our firm and why they succeed, to give you guys some motivation to become one of them very quickly, or relatively quickly, either one, to share some lessons from my seat in the trading community. And so I have a unique seat in the trading community. I'm a partner, which means I get to interact with lots of other partners and exchange notes as to who's doing well and why they're doing well and what trading strategies some of these guys are doing well in. I get to hear from independent traders, retail traders, institutional traders as a result of having written a couple of books, One Good Trade and the Playbook. And as it's interesting, we present to the trading community almost 100% of what we do from SMBU, and the reality is that 15% of our work is through SMBU and 85% is through our prop desk, sitting here training guys like you. And this is a good example of us sort of overlapping between the two. But because of that, there are a lot of people who share, hey, this is what's doing well, here's why I'm making money. And there are some retail traders out there, and there's some independent guys out there that do pretty well and are happy to share why. And then obviously working with the guys in the room and the guys who have preceded you helps us to understand, hey, here are the people that do well, here's why they do well. And a lot of what we do here is we talk to you guys about this person did well, here are some of the characteristics that they exhibit, here are some of the best practices that they go through. You know, Ryan, you get to sit with Shark and you get to see in real time what he's going through. That's very helpful. You know, let me model how Shark prepares and how he thinks through certain trades. Let me model the way Swang can scalp, and we'll talk a little bit more about a couple of guys from our desk. But we're just trying to figure out, we're just trying to study who the guys are who are doing well, why they're doing well, and getting you guys to do more of that. Okay? So we're going to talk about 5 things profitable traders do that losing traders don't. We'll take some questions and perhaps answer them. And just a note that you can start applying, as Merritt said, for Fall SMB DNA 2016 right now. So the first thing that I notice in my conversations and in my observations is that losing traders try and make money, and the best traders try and grow. And we have the privilege of sitting with somebody who I traded with back in the day, who is also a 3-time, can I say this?
Sure.
A 3-time state football championship coach, and I know you can attest to this, but the best players, the best traders, the best of anything are people that come in every day and try and get better. The people that lose and the people that underperform are the people that come in and try and win that day and believe success is a short process, shortcut, all the things you have to go through. There's 1,000 little things you got to do every day to be successful. It compounds on each other day after day. It does not show up. It is not apparent in the first 8 months of your trading career. There's almost has to be like a leap of faith for even some of the guys in the firm. And all of the guys who do well here all sat in your seat and were like, am I really going to make it? Is this really going to work? But then it does. The guys that make it, it does start to make sense for them. And all of that compounded learning in the first 8 months starts to really kick in. And so one of the guys, I was in Vegas this weekend, and one of the traders from our community, Morgan Jones, caught me in the hallway of Las Vegas and talked to me about the impact that Reading Mindset by Carol Dweck had on his trading. I'm just sitting there coming out of the bathroom, trying to enjoy myself, and this like really ambitious, great guy comes up, incredibly excited, and is like, thank you so much for introducing Mindset by Carol Dweck. I read it. It's been very influential in my work. I'm starting to make money. I've really turned the corner. I'm starting to follow these principles a lot more. This book is not about trading, but it has everything to do with trading. This book is not necessarily about success and has everything to do about success. It's one of the books that we tell you guys to read before you actually even step in the doors here. And so Morgan's sitting there telling me a story and then pivoting to tell me how great Spencer is, which I don't know if I was supposed to take that as a compliment because he's my partner. He didn't compliment me at all. Not at one point did he say, Bella, I really enjoyed your books, or I really enjoy your blogs. He just went on and on about Spencer, and he loves the AM meeting, and he just gets the best. How does Spencer do it with all his calls and the S&B AM meeting? And he's like, I totally agree with you when you say he's the best short-term trading commentator consistently that's out there in the Twitter sphere. And he's going on and on about Spencer, not a word about me, not a word about anybody else. But anyway, good to meet him. And that's a guy who found a lot of value out of Reading Mindset. Yesterday, I had a conversation with Seth about an observation that he noticed about Shark 5 years ago. I noticed that during our big down day this week, when we broke out to the downside of our range, that Shark actually did a pretty good job of supplementing and expanding his profits on that day by expressing his ideas in options. He didn't just express his ideas in equities, he also expressed his ideas in options. And I was chatting with Shark, and I said, why did you decide to express your ideas with options? And I'm just curious, where did you learn that from? And he just, offhand said, well, I sat in Seth Freudberg's class 5 years ago when he was doing his options training program. Seth put together this basic options training program and started to understand things about theta and volatility and time decay. And then, of course, has experimented over the last 5 years with options. But Seth remembers him being really engaged. And so we say be present in meetings like this, and people think it's like a little thing. But Shark made, an extra $15,000 this week because he was engaged when Seth was teaching this class that was going to have no direct impact on how he was going to do for multiple years going forward. We weren't trading options at the time. He wasn't able to trade options at the time. There wasn't really anyone on the desk making a lot of money trading options. He just learned to grow. And 5 years later, he's sitting on a desk and is able to cash in on that knowledge. And you're going to sit here in one of these meetings one day, and a couple of years down the line, something's going to kind of click in, and you're going to be like, oh, that's what Bella was talking about, or that's what Memo was talking about, or that's what Carlton was talking about, or that's what Andrew's talking about, and it's going to help you make some more money. And so I remember a sit down I had with Big Dog about 4 months ago, and he's a very aggressive trader, and one of the things that stands out in my mind about him is how he was trying to get somewhere so fast, and how I could see him being really ambitious about going from like a $500,000 a year trader to a 7-figure trader, and me listening to him and me listening to some of the frustration that he was going through at present, him feeling like he should have had a $200,000 month when the month was a little bit less. And me just, I remember this to this day, me just sort of sitting there saying, why is this guy worried about being a 7-figure trader? In 3 to 5 years, he can be an 8-figure trader. That's what he should be thinking about. And so you want to be thinking about, on an everyday basis, how can I get better? Not get too frustrated, because you'll burn out. If you get really frustrated, we traded back in the late 90s. I remember on a Friday, the market was so intense and so fast. I remember being in my 20s and going to meet some friends who had come in from New York City for drinks, and being so tired at like 8 o'clock at night that I couldn't keep my eyes open because I was so focused on trying to make money. And I wish back then that I was really thinking about just trying to get better and not worrying about, it was a lot of pressure when you could make $25,000 to $50,000 a day, and you made 25 and you left 25 on the table. I think that was a lot. There was a lot of pressure on you, and the speed at which determined a $25,000 day or a $50,000 day was so small that I would have been healthier if I just sort of said, I'm just going to get better. I'll do the best I can. And I think Big Dog too. And then we've talked about one of the rips that our desk took in KBIO. It was a memorable after hours. One of our traders lost $400,000 in that trade because this trader embraces a growth mindset. That trader went from a huge rip that became a learning experience that helped him become a better trader, helped him to become better in very specific other types of trades, helped him become a bigger trader that I think a lot of people would have shrunk from. I think a lot of people have been like, oh my God, I just got creamed, and it would have impacted their trading negatively for many months going forward. And this trader, it propelled him to do better. Stock selection. So I wrote in one good trade. You're only as good as the stocks you trade. I will confess to you guys in the room that Seabry, our floor manager, Carlton, pinged me about some of you in this class that you guys are trading the wrong stocks, that you didn't know what stocks to trade, and we need to talk about it. We need to have an emergency meeting. You're in the wrong stocks. You're in too inexpensive stocks. You're in too spready stocks. We need to have a talk about this. And you may have noticed that we've been a little bit more specific and demanding and vocal about the stocks that we're encouraging you guys to trade at the beginning, because this is a learning process for you, and it's not about making money, it's about improving. And so we've specifically been talking about finding stocks with a news catalyst, more specifically a news catalyst that's unusual. It's either unusually good or unusually negative. The street didn't expect it. The stocks that can finish high of day or low of day, we like to first look for those types of stocks. Stocks that are up or down 3% on the open. We use our S&P scanner to search for stocks like that. To look for stocks with tight spreads. I think this is one of the adjustments, one of the areas we've been highlighting more for guys who are trading right on the open. Look for things that have tight spreads that you can trade the opening drive with. Encouraging guys to trade stocks that are under $60. There can be some exceptions. That being, there's going to be stocks that are over $60 every once in a while where the spread is a little bit tighter. And then maybe the other exception is, hey, if you just really feel like you can trade stocks over $100 better than cheaper stocks. I know there is one gentleman who believes that in this room, and I'm not going to argue with that person. But I think that you think that, which is great. And we'll talk about trading niche a little bit later. So there are a couple of exceptions. We're looking for things that are outside of a daily range. So it's better to see something on a longer term chart that's breaking out or breaking down. We're looking for something that has a high R-vol. R-vol is relative volume. Something that is trading much more volume on average than it normally does. And then we're always supplementing what we're doing for our preparation with the S&P AM meeting, and I would agree with Morgan Jones that Steve does offer the best commentary for short-term trading consistently of anyone I see out there. And the S&P AM meeting is an incredible opportunity for you guys to be in the right stocks, hear really terrific levels. Steve just sits there and trades every tick and has for the last 20 years. You know, that's what he likes to do. And his levels that he calls out to you guys, the stocks that he calls out to you guys, add a lot of value. And then the S&P scanner is something we encourage you guys to use to help with your AM preparation. I should say all that goes into this AM sheet, which we all share with each other. And then I try and get you guys to talk a little bit about what you're going to trade before the open, which I think is a good exercise. Brian, you got to come over and talk to me a little bit more. But I want to hear what you're thinking. And look, if you're in the wrong stocks, you're not going to make money. So I thought X was a great opportunity today. And then yesterday, what was the stock that went straight down and finished at the low, which we were like, we really should have been. And it was really smooth and very, very weak. It was one of Alcoa. Thank you, Alcoa. 2 days in a row. 2 days in a row, Alcoa is just very, very weak. And not a hard stock to trade, right? Whereas, you know, maybe trading a spreadier stock would have been a little bit harder. If you're in the right stocks, it can really make a difference. If you're in bad stocks, you can't make money. You just can't. I mean, they're too spready. You can't control your risk. They don't move enough. How are you supposed to make money? I was trading this UL at the beginning of the day, and I was like, I'm never going to make any money in this. Like, why am I bothering? It was just so slow. I couldn't tell if it was going to go up or down. It was so slow. It wasn't really moving away from price like we like, why we like a lot. And then, you know, there are stocks where I feel are moving a lot, and I just can't control my risk. Like, what was that stock that fell 15 points today? AAMC? I mean, God bless anyone who's, I mean, it had no volume, and it went straight up, and then it went down 15 points. I mean, you know, it moved a lot, but I don't know how you make money in that. How do you control your risk in that? So getting that right will make a huge difference. And you guys will mess that up at the beginning. That's okay. You should never mess up your preparation. You'll get a scolding if you mess up your preparation. But it's okay to sort of choose incorrectly and then go back and understand why that was. All right, so trading this. So this is Dan G. Trades one specific trade. I'm actually really proud of him. He has really gone out of his way. So for those of you watching at home, we have a joint venture with the Kirshner Trading Group. They have an office in Austin, Texas. Dan G went down to visit some guys in Austin, Texas to exchange notes about a particular, I'm not going to tell you the strategy because it's an inefficiency strategy and I can't tell it to you. But he literally makes 90% of his money in one particular strategy. And he really studies this. And this is an example right here. I just remember this meeting. We came in and we had our monthly meeting with him, and Dan goes, I want more capital for this particular strategy. And my first reaction was, can't stand this stupid strategy. This is not scalable. Like, this is a waste of his time. How is he going to make money with this? And he dumped, this is a picture of him dumping the data on our desk, suggesting he had a real edge trading this one particular setup. And he had a real edge. It was undeniable. And we ended up, we kept quiet. And I was actually just saying this to myself. We were quiet, and we looked at the data and we're like, yeah, size that up. Give him some more buying power for that. And then he's been, comparing notes, studying this. He just reached out to me and asked me to get him some more information from our floor broker, and I connected the two of them, and now they're starting to have a conversation about that. And he keeps really extensive stats and Excel spreadsheets on his work. And look, I don't love the fact that I don't love the idea of people trading one trade, but he was one of the better traders of the firm trading one trade. It happens. And there are guys out there that really do just master one trade. And so, he found something that kind of made sense to him. He tried some other trades that they didn't necessarily work. In fact, he's on a team that's a really good team that trades more of a scalping style. And he's not a bad scalper, but he's not a highly scalable scalper like some of the other guys. But he is in this one particular trade. And so he'll make a little bit of money scalping, but then shifting his attention to a niche where he's more scalable and works better for him has really helped him go from a guy not on the radar to a guy definitely on the radar. So we have this up on our whiteboard actually behind me. And this is an example of all of the trading strategies that I see short-term traders make pretty big money in. And you can see from that list, there are a lot of different types of ways that people can make money. And on our desk, there are different ways that people make money. So we have one team that focuses on international ARB. We have another team that focuses on scalping. We have some other guys that focus on a strategy, which I'm not going to say because it's an efficiency strategy and they'll get mad at me. We have some other guys that focus on automated trading. We have some other guys that will trade stocks and play. We have some other guys that will trade some low floats. They do different things. They're gravitating towards, they all learned here, they all learned the skills like reading the tape and reading charts and psychology and how to prepare and how to review here, what you guys are going through. And they learned certain setups that we all teach you, and then they gravitated towards things that made the most sense to them. This is a good example of how sticking, so people think, oh, you can't make a lot of money scalping. Well, these are Swang's results a couple months ago, scalping. Rewind 3 years ago, his monthly results were $4,000 to $8,000 a month. And fast forward now, his results are obviously much, much higher. He's sticking to his niche. I have said this to you guys before, is an amazing ability to process information. But he's sticking to his niche. And so sometimes people think, all I need to do is go and learn a particular strategy. All I need to do is sit over the shoulder of a shark or a Swang or a really successful, consistently profitable trader and just learn what they're doing. And that's a good start. It's good to sort of copy the masters. But for you to be really good, you've got to find edge, but then find edge, and this is the important part, the find edge that highlights your talents. It's like you can't say I love football and then say you want to be a running back and be 350 pounds. Okay? If you are 350 pounds and you love football, you need to play on the line. You can't play running back. If you say to me, you think really, really quickly, and you process information really, really quickly, you should probably be a scalper. If you are very analytical, you probably shouldn't be. All right, so I see this a lot with people. It's not enough to find edge. You have to find edge. You have to develop a niche that highlights your talents. And so, our head quant is another really good story of this. I remember going to Penn State, driving through sleet and hail, and meeting our now head quant for the first time. And he teaches you guys in this classroom. each Tuesday about filters and automated trading and scripts. He sticks to what makes sense. I mean, you're not going to find anyone. He's one of the most brilliant people that I've ever really met. I mean, I always get the impression that he knows he's just a lot smarter than everyone. He's a really nice guy, but he just is. Let's be clear about it. He's just smarter than everyone, okay? You don't meet too many people in the world that are that smart. And so he chooses, he's an efficiency trader, which requires speed, right? It requires speed and it requires technology. He's good at those two things. If you sat him down and you made him trade the stocks in play, he probably would be barely profitable. You sit him down and you say, have at it with automated trading, have at it with inefficiency trading, and he's one of the top traders. I actually talked about this in the SMBU Daily video. Do not skip this step. And you guys can, if somebody's watching at home and can put the link in to that. Yesterday I did a video on this. Do not skip this step. And it's the result of a conversation I overheard between a developing trader, a young trader, and a veteran trader. And the veteran trader went over to talk to the new trader, taking their temperature and how they were doing. And the new trader was like, I'm trying to figure it out. And then the veteran trader said, well, what do you do well? Tell me exactly what you do well. Tell me the variables. It wasn't me, by the way. Tell me the variables. I was overhearing this conversation. Tell me the variables of the trade. You need to be able to tell me what you do well. You need to be able to tell me what setups you do. And you need to do them more. And you need to do them bigger. And look, I wrote my second book, The Playbook. That's essentially a main thesis of the book. And this has been, a lot of people talk like this now. A lot of people use the language of the playbook that I wrote about to help people get better at trading. I mean, if you talk to, it's become very prevalent across the industry for people to talk like this. And so that's great. It's great to be helpful. And so this veteran trader was essentially, clearly read the playbook and was giving him advice from, I guess, the playbook and his experience, which probably verified a lot of the stuff I wrote about in the playbook. And you could see the new trader was like confused. Like, I'm new. Like, how do I know what I do well? I don't know that I do anything well. And I'm sure some of you feel that way. And so there's a step that we can't skip, and that's experimenting. So you guys go through the foundation, and then you go through trader development where you experiment. So we put before you guys a bunch of trade setups that you can try. And we talked about this the other day. I was showing reading the tape during one of our reading the tape sessions. I think I showed a couple of trades that I made, and I think a couple of you were like, I don't know if I can make that trade. That was really fast. And I think a couple of you were probably like, not only can I not make that trade, but I don't even know that I want to try that trade. Like, I don't even know if that would work for me, which is fine. And I said, it's not about whether or not, I'm not saying to you, you should do this trade. I'm just saying, here are a couple of trades, here are a couple of fade trades. There's something for you to think about. If they work for you, great. More importantly, let's teach reading the tape principles, and these are great examples of reading the tape principles. It's up to you to sort of formulate where you're going to go with your trading. So you need to experiment. So, and you know, Ashar came in and talked to you guys yesterday after the close about how he attacked the big down day. And I'm sure he went over why he got short, what he got short in, and what he was thinking. And you know, that's another example of like being presented and exposed to different ideas. So you need to experiment. You need to, and we do this during trader development as well, you need to be exposed to the best practices which you turn into habit. So you guys have a routine that you go through every day. Those are best practices you're turning into habit. Then, when you're trading and you see things that work for you, you're developing a playbook. So over time, you're finding setups that work, you're archiving them, you're making a big deal about that. You're building your business. Your business is to find the trades that have a niche, that highlight your talents. those could be trades that work for you, that make sense to you when you're trading in real time, and then you're going to highlight them. And then you guys are also learning technology. So we have a weekly meeting. You guys have some goals that you have to hit before you get out of trader development. So to me, you want a foundation, you want to experiment, you want to have best practices turn into habit, you want to be playbooking your best trades, you want to be embracing technology, you want to be pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone with consistency and with structure. So when you find out what you do well, you slowly scale that up. If we went back to Swang's results, that's how he did it. You know, we went from $4,000 to $8,000 a month to much more than that by just understanding what you do well. And you know, every day I sort of push him a little bit, slowly bumping yourself up consistently and with structure. And adding all of that up will get you to the point where you will be a consistently profitable trader. So trading niche is important. Embrace technology. So it might be the case that you're going to be a better automated trader than discretionary trader. There are two guys in the firm who sat in your seats, who started as discretionary traders, who are better automated traders. And actually there's three of them, because Andrew Faldy is one of them. He does SMBU systems. He runs SMBU. He runs SMBU systems, and you know, not only may you be a better automated trader than discretionary trader, but I get the sense that Andrew is an auto trader because he wants to do other things. He wants to be more productive elsewhere. So we were talking about a strategy and him doing it that back tested well, but we were having some trouble automating in our automated engine. And so I said to him, well, why don't you just do it yourself? Why don't you just do it manually? And you can kind of see him being like, because I have other things to do, Mike. Like, I just want to run it. And so, you know, there are people that want to be done with the strategy and move on. And that's fine. It helps you to play more offense from your strengths. Filters, scripts, automated trading, we talk about them every Tuesday. You guys have goals for filters and automated trading during trader development, which you need to accomplish, or else you don't get to go to team trading. And so this is an example right here. Let's just go through this right a little bit quickly. So these are the equity curves. The next three are equity curves of one of the young guys who has been focusing on automated trading, pretty new here, and having some pretty good success with his automated trading. His equity curves for these three models. He actually has 5 models now. These are just 3 of them. I had him send them over. But he shows a really terrific equity curve for his models, and is not going to, his strengths are not in discretionary trading, but he could go on to be a very, very effective automated trader. So you want to embrace technology. Swang ran into my office a couple of months ago bragging about how his team is really adding value to his trading. One of the guys on his team, Hai Ming, has built filters for Swang, and Swang was talking about how it's added an extra $20,000 to his P&L. The other day I was sitting in my office with him. Hai Ming had just built him a new filter on low floats and found him a stock, and he made an extra $2,000 on that very day. Shark, you can hear saying, you make an extra 500 here and there, and it adds up by embracing the technology here. One of the top firm traders actually in Austin is consistently tweaking his filters and just trades what pops up. So he's got all these filters, and when something pops up on his filter, it actually leads to his level 2 box. And he pretty much just trades off of that. He's tweaked everything so much that he's just sort of letting the technology get him into stocks where he should make decisions. And Spencer likes to talk about our super simple scripts, we call them SSS, and how that allows him to trade more than a couple of different ideas at the same time, allows him to spread himself out to other ideas so he can play more offense. So that's very simple automated scripts where you say things like, hey, if this stock gets above this range, I'm going to buy it. If it goes up 50 cents, I'm going to sell a quarter. If it goes up 75 cents, sell me another half. If it gets below this, hit out of it. So it doesn't just buy the stock. It's not like a buy stop. You buy it, and then it helps you manage your position on the way out. And you can be real simple with it, and you can be a little bit more technical with it. So how do I improve my discipline? From our trading community, I think this is one of the top 5 frustrations. How do I get myself to be more disciplined? Well, the first thing is go to bed early. There is a lot of recent evidence that the most productive people go to sleep early. One of the presenters at the charity event I was in Las Vegas was great and talked about how if you want more freedom, be more disciplined. And I think a lot of people think that freedom equates to not having to really do anything and chill out and hang out. And what you find when you get a little bit older is that freedom is about being really disciplined. And he talked about being stronger, going to sleep earlier, being healthier, and pushing yourself in lots of different facets in life so that you improve your discipline. And I've always said to traders, you're not going to just sit on a desk and be disciplined. You actually have to be disciplined in your life to be a disciplined trader. So I know a lot of you guys hit the weights. Some of you, I think, maybe too much. But what do you work out, like 3 hours a day?
Yeah, 2.5.
Looking, I got my 30-minute swim in today, okay? I got in, I got out of there. This is a pretty hard swim. Zeb, you see me get after it at the pool, right? I'm just crushing it. I'm working on my flip turns. I'm getting a little bit better each day. And so, but that's a part of it, is you got to eat well. You have to exercise a little bit. You got to get to sleep, and you got to be in a good frame of mind. So one of the ways that we help you guys deal with this is develop a playbook and just trade your playbook. As you get more advanced, your business will be your playbook. You will understand that the way to make progress is to just trade the setups where you have edge a little bit bigger and more often, and slowly stop trading the setups where you don't, that aren't really worth your time. And if you continue to keep doing this, one veteran trader I heard speak recently talked about how he made the most progress in year 3 and year 4 of his trading career by doing this very thing. Understanding where he was making money and trading that a little bit bigger, and then just slowly, not being too hard on himself, slowly getting rid of some of the mediocre trades, some of the lesser trades, and experienced 50 and 100% gains year over year by doing this. Lastly, I'll just sort of say that if you want to get better, it's about building domain knowledge, being able to sustain your energy. That means doing the work you need to do every day to get better, doing your routine, getting critical feedback. So if we get on you, don't take it personally. There's actually a really good book that I actually want to read. Tom Brady read the book, suggested recently that people read it, and there are these 4 pillars in the book for success, and one of those pillars is don't take anything personally. Okay, so, and Brian, I think you can attest to this. I think sometimes to coach people, you have to get on them.
Yep.
So if we get on you, that's a good thing. That's going to help you get better. You need critical feedback to get better. Purposeful practice. All right, so things like the playbook are examples of purposeful practice. Things like watching back film, like we do here at 12:30, is an example of purposeful practice. Trade review, where you go over your work, purposeful practice. And as always, look, I've seen guys not be good who become very good, and certainly I've seen guys who are good become very good. And as I finish the playbook, you can be better tomorrow than you are today. It's absolutely true. I mean, it's probably one of the biggest rewards and lessons you'll learn from trading for 20 years. If you want to learn 4 more real-world setups that our traders use, including the simple setup that we teach all of our new traders, and the setup that turned one of our traders into a 7-figure big money trader, check out the free webinar that we're currently running. Just go ahead and click this link to sign up for free right now. You're going to learn more in a couple of hours from this video, from this webinar workshop. than from years of online education. So go ahead and click our subscribe button so you don't miss any of the trading videos produced for the trading community. From all of us at SMB, trade well.